Now we will do question number 42. In this question, you are asked to prepare income and expenditure account for the year ending 31st December 2012 and a balance sheet on that date. On that date means 31st December 2012. Means they have asked you to prepare income and expenditure account and a closing balance sheet. But whenever you will be asked to prepare the closing balance sheet, you have to prepare the opening balance sheet also. Why? To calculate the capital fund. Now come to the balance sheet part. See, the closing date means the date for the closing balance sheet will be 31st 12 2012 because the year ends at 31st 12 2012. But the date for opening balance sheet will be 1st January because the year begins on 1st January. So this is going to be the date for opening balance sheet. Now let us first mark the adjustment. See, 8% fixed deposits on 1st July 2012. I told earlier also that whenever the rate of interest will be mentioned along with fixed deposit or any kind of investment, then we have to assume that it will have adjustment in interest on deposit. So we will have adjustment on interest on deposit. So we will mark here. Now come to additional information. What is the first additional information given? On 31st December 2011, the club possesses books worth rupees 40,000 and furniture worth 17,000. Provide depreciation on these assets 10% including the purchase during the year. Means you have to provide depreciation including any purchase if it is there for the assets. Okay. Now come to the next adjustment. Subscription in arrears at the beginning of the year amounted to 700 and at the end of the year 1100 were outstanding. That means we will have adjustment in subscription. So mark and subscription. Now next, the club paid 3 months rent in advance both in the beginning and at the end of the year. That means rent will have adjustment. So rent is in the payment side. So we will mark here rent as adjustment. Okay. So these are the things in which we are going to have adjustment: subscription, interest on deposit and rent. Now let us start the sum. We'll start from the received side. See, balance brought forward 6,380. This is the balance of cash that has been brought forward. That means this is the opening balance for cash. So obviously cash is an asset, and since it is the opening balance, so it will go in the opening balance. You see, I have already written cash 6,380. Okay. Now move on to the next item. Next item is entrance fees. Entrance fees means income 1,100. So we will directly write on the income side by entrance fees 1,100. Okay. Next item. Our next item is subscriptions. Okay, subscription have adjustment. So we will write on the income side by subscription, but we won't write the amount because it has adjustment. Okay. Next we have donation. Okay, since regarding donation nothing is mentioned, that means it is a general donation, so it will be treated as income. So we'll write directly by donations. The balance is 3,300. Okay. Next, life membership fees. I explained it earlier also that life membership fee is a capital receipt, so it should be included with the capital fund in the closing balance sheet. So here we will just write in advance like add life membership fee. We'll just write here the amount 5,000, which would be included with capital fund. When we will get capital fund, we need to include it with this. Okay. Next, interest on deposit. Okay, interest on deposit is an income and it has adjustment. So we will write in the income side, by interest on deposits. We won't write the amount, just write the item. Next, we have proceeds of tournament. Proceeds means, since it is written on the income side, so we have to assume it is an income, and we will write on the income side, by proceeds of tournaments. The amount is 4,640. Okay. Now next item, prize fund. Okay, again prize fund is also an income, so just write here, by prize fund 4,000. Okay. Next item is building fund. I explained earlier that whenever any fund, any income or any donation will be related with any kind of fixed asset, building is a fixed asset, it will be treated as capital receipt and it will go directly in the closing balance sheet liability side. Okay, so building fund is a capital receipt, so I am writing it in the closing balance sheet on the liability side, building fund. Okay, one correction you need to make in the question. See here, I have corrected it. Building fund is 16,000. In your book, it is given 8,000. So correct the amount. It will be 16,000. Okay, building fund, make correction in the amount. It will be 16,000, not 8,000. Okay, so here we will write in the building fund 16,000. Okay. Now next item. Now come to the payment side. Payment side, the first item is rent, that means expense. So we will write on the expenditure side, to rent. Now rent have adjustment. See, we have marked it here, so we won't write the amount. Next item is book purchases. Book purchases means asset purchased in the middle of the year. That means this is an additional purchase. This will have adjustment later on, so we'll do it later on. Next, miscellaneous expense means expenditure. So we will write here directly in the expenditure side, to miscellaneous expenses. The amount is given 15,340. Okay, next item we have 8% fixed deposits on 1st July 2012. Okay, now we need to do a working note for this. See here, I'm doing the working note. Working note, fixed deposit. When we had made the fixed deposit on 1st July 2012. Okay, and the amount is 24,000. That means what is going to be the interest? Interest on fixed deposit, I'm writing short form, FD. The rate which is what that is given is 8%. So we will write here 8% of 24,000. Okay, now 8% of 24,000 will be, the total will be 960. Okay, now see here, I need to do a correction, sorry. 8% of 24,000. When you made the fixed deposit 1st July, that means we have to start from July, August, September, October, November, and here comes December, because the year ends at December. So we will get the interest from July, 1st July, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are going to get interest for 6 months only. So here we will write into 6 by 12. Okay. So 8% of 24,000, this is multiply, okay, into 6 by 12. So our interest will be 960. So the total interest we are going to get is 960. But during the year, how much we have received? 480. So less received is 480. Then how much is still remaining? 480 is still remaining. That means this is going to be the accrued interest. Okay, I'm explaining it again. See here, we have made the fixed deposit on 1st July. The amount was 24,000. So whenever we will get interest, we will get interest from 1st July. From 1st July till 31st December. So for how many months we will get? July, August, September, October, November, December. That is 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our interest will be for 6 months. So that is why 8% of 24,000 into 6 by 12. So our total interest is going to be 960. During the year, how much we have received? 480. That means how much is still to be received? Again 480. So that is why we call it as accrued interest. So now here, come to the income part. Interest on deposit, we have received 480 plus accrued interest is 480. So the total is going to be 960. Okay. Now see, fixed deposit is a kind of investment. So obviously it will go in the balance sheet. Now the date, see the date, what is this mentioned? 1st July 2012. That means in the beginning we didn't make the fixed deposit. When we made? In the middle of the year. So it will go in the closing balance sheet. So we will write here in the closing balance sheet, asset side. Just write here. Just write a bit below. Fixed deposit. I'm writing FD in short form. Fixed deposit. Right in the inner column, 24,000 plus accrued interest, because this is also an income we are getting from our investment. So we have to add this accrued interest, 480. So it is going to be 24,480. Okay. Next we have tournament expenses. Okay, tournament expenses, what is the amount? 4,040. So we will write here in the expenditure side, to tournament expenses 4,040. Okay. Now next item, prize expenses. So prize expenses, the amount is 5,200. So here we will record to prize in the expenditure side, prize expenses 5,200. Okay. Next we have cash in hand. Cash in hand means this is the cash balance at the end of the year. So obviously it will go in the closing balance sheet. So we will write in the closing balance sheet, cash in hand 20,000. Okay, now let us see the additional information that we have. On 31st December 2011 means ending of the previous year, and ending of the previous year means beginning of the current year. I explained it earlier also, I hope you remember. See, in the beginning of the year, books, what is the value of book? 40,000. So book is an asset, and since this is the opening balance for books, so we will write in the opening balance sheet, in the asset side, books, the value of books in the beginning of the year is 40,000. Okay, next what we have, furniture worth 17,000 means in the beginning of the year the value of furniture was 17,000. So we will write in the opening balance sheet, asset side, furniture is an asset, furniture, we have 17,000 is the value of the furniture, so writing it 17,000. Now next, let us see, provide depreciation on this assets at the rate 10% including purchases during the year. That means on these two assets, books and furniture, we need to provide depreciation, and the rate of depreciation is 10%. One more condition is given, if any additional asset is purchased, you have to add that one, and on that one you have to give 10% depreciation. Now see, books, what was the value in the beginning? 40,000. Now some additional books we have purchased during the year, book purchase 4,960. That means we need to add these two balances in our closing balance sheet. Let me show you how. So in the closing balance sheet, we will write books. We had books 40,000 in the opening. Okay, with that we will add purchases, that means purchase during the year, 4,960. So our total value of book is 44,960. Now on this 44,960, we will charge depreciation, less depreciation at the rate 10%. That means 10% of 44,960. So our balance is going to be 4,496. Now if we will deduct this, we will get 40,464. So I hope you are clear with this transaction. Now come to furniture. So furniture, in the opening we had 17,000, and during the year we didn't purchase any furniture, so directly we can charge depreciation on it. So first we will write furniture. Okay, the opening balance of furniture was 17,000. Now less depreciation at the rate 10%, it will be 1,700. So the balance will be 15,300. Okay, now this depreciation is an expenditure, right? So this will go in income and expenditure account on the expenditure side. Okay, to depreciation on, we had depreciation on books and on furniture. Okay, now what is the value of depreciation in case of books? 4,496. So we'll write here 4,496, and for furniture it is 1,700. So we will write here 1,700. Clear? So depreciation is an expense, so we have to write it on the expenditure side of income and expenditure account. So the total depreciation is 6,196. Okay, we are done with this. Next item is subscription in arrears. I told you arrear means outstanding, so subscription in arrears at the beginning of the year. So at the beginning means first write the value of subscription you have received during the year. How much you have received? 36,000. So first write 36,000 that you have received. 36,000. I told you that outstanding at the beginning should be deducted. So outstanding at beginning, see here, subscription arrears means outstanding. Okay, so arrears, we know arrears means outstanding. So outstanding at the beginning of the year was 700. So deduct 700 outstanding at beginning, and again we had some outstanding at the end of the year also. How much? 1100. That must be added. So add outstanding at end 1100. So the total is going to be 36,400. Okay, so outstanding at beginning should be deducted, that is 700 is deducted, and again outstanding at the end should be added. So after adding it we are getting 36,400 for subscription. Now see the next transaction, what it is saying. The club paid 3 months rent in advance both in beginning and at the end of the year. That means how much total rent you have received? We have received 3,360 in total. So we will write in the inner column 3,360. Now it is said that 3 months advance we have received in beginning also and at the end of the year also. That means in case of advance, any advance received paid in advance is added. Any advance paid in beginning is added. So advance in beginning we need to add. So 3,360 for how many months you paid in advance? 3 months. So it will be 3 by 12. Okay, so it's going to be 840. Okay, less, and advance at the end should be deducted. So advance at end, same calculation, 3,360 you have paid at the end also for 3 months, so it should be 840 again. So the overall balance is going to come same, 3,360. Okay, now let me explain you this part once again. It is told very clearly that you have paid 3 months rent in advance both in beginning and at the end of the year. So see here, total rent received is equal to 3,360. So for 1 month, what is going to be the rent then? 1 month is equal to 3,360 by 12, right? Then if we are going to get from here some amount, now then what is going to be for 3 months? 3,360 by 12 into 3, because this is 1 month's rent, and we have to find out 3 months rent, so it is into 3. So obviously this is going to give us this form, 3,360 by 12, so we will get 840. Okay, so all the transactions are recorded. Now we will do the total and calculate whether it is surplus or deficit. Now if we total the income side, we are getting a total of 50,400. Okay, so the total of income side is 50,400, and the total of expenditure side, if you calculate, we are getting 34,136. That means here we can see that our expenditure side is less than the income side. Means here we can see here credit side is greater than debit side. That means there is surplus. Okay, so here there is surplus. So now we will write here to surplus. Here we have got the total 50,400. Okay, and here also we will write 50,400 in the expenditure side. Now from 50,400, if we deduct 34,136, we are getting the surplus of 16,264. Now we have calculated surplus. Now we will calculate the capital fund. Now first we will total the asset side. The total of asset side. Okay, before calculating the total of asset side, now see, we need to record few transactions. See here, outstanding at the beginning. Now this is an outstanding income, so it will go in the opening balance sheet. Outstanding subscription. Okay, the balance is 700. Now again outstanding at the end. Again outstanding with the outstanding income at the end will come, means outstanding subscription will come in the closing balance sheet, and we will write here in the asset side outstanding subscription 1,100 at the end. Okay, now come here to the rent. Now rent, we have advance in the beginning also and advance at the end also. And as we know, any expense made in advance is treated as asset, right? So advance rent in the beginning we will write in the asset side advance rent. The amount is 840, and here we will write advance rent 840. So all the transactions are recorded here. Now we can calculate the capital fund. So first we will total this side. The total of asset side is 64,920, and here as we don't have any other liability, so we can write here directly capital fund balancing figure. We have 64,920. Now this capital fund we will bring down in the balance sheet, means in the closing balance sheet, 64,920. With this we will add the surplus, okay, which we have calculated in income and expenditure account. The surplus of income and expenditure will be added with capital fund. So we will add surplus 16,264. Now capital fund plus surplus plus life membership fee, we will get 86,184. Okay, so now we will total the assets and liability side. So if we total the asset and liability side, we are getting a total. In the asset side we are getting a total, liability side we are getting a total of 1,02,184, and in the asset side if we total all the assets we are getting again 1,02,184. So both the total are same, so the sum is